Today is my last full day with the 2025.5 Volvo XC90. This is the brand's flagship hybrid SUV. Now, I made a video after the first 24 hours with my initial impressions, and some of you may have seen that. So I thought I would revisit things today after having spent a full 7 days with it. So what has changed, what has not changed in terms of my opinion? So this is it right here. The XC90 in the highest level, T8. T8 replaces the Recharge name in terms of the plug-in hybrid aspect of the vehicle. And this is in the highest Ultra trim. So it comes in Core, Plus, and Ultra. The plug-in hybrid starts at approximately $75,000. And this one, fully optioned, comes in at just under $90,000. Now, this vehicle was completely redesigned approximately 10 years ago. And Volvo is debuting this as a refreshed model, a new XC90. Not all new, but new. So it has refreshed styling, a new grille, the updated Thor's hammer headlights. It's a 3-row. It comes in 6 and 7 passenger seating configurations. This one has the lounge seating, so it is a 6-seater. I've driven many XC90s through the years. So this one feels, very familiar. Product cadence cycles are generally much shorter than 10 years. But that's where Volvo finds itself with the XC90. Now, you can also get this as a mild hybrid without the plug. Pricing for that one starts at around $60,000. This one has the 2-liter turbocharged engine. That's the heart of the mechanical aspect of the powertrain. And then that is joined by an 18 kilowatt-hour battery. And then the electric motor, all-wheel drive, is standard. It doesn't look particularly new, does it? It's refreshed in a very mild sense. And the interior has been updated as well. So there's a larger, higher resolution touchscreen here, and then a larger center console, the wireless charge pad there, just 4 of the shifter. And the rest of it, again, looks very familiar. Nice use of materials here. I like some of them. The wood, the recycled materials here over on the dash. I am not a fan of this leather. It looks really old. The color, the wrinkles, everything about the seating textures and appearance are a big miss. And Volvo typically has some of the most comfortable seats around. I don't find that these are some of those. This, with the Ultra package, has a power extender here for the thighs and adjustable side bolsters. It also has massage here on the front and second row seats, which is nice. And the massage programs work quite well. The bladders are fairly quiet, which is something, unfortunately, I can't really say about the rest of the cabin here. When you get into a vehicle that has electric powertrain mobility, you would expect it to be very quiet in here, but that's not the case, despite the fact that Volvo has supposedly added additional sound insulation. This one seems to pick up a lot of wind noise. So, shall we start it up? Right here is the crystal shifter, always a very nice touch in Volvos, and then you have the little dial start here, and here we go. Now, I'm going to focus here on the positive to start, beyond the aspects I just brought up. This one here, as you can see, is nearly fully charged at 33 miles of all EV driving. That's great. Very nice range. I've actually seen over 40 at times during this week here, during the middle of summer, where the temperatures are favorable for such things. That's wonderful. Over 500 miles of driving range here too. So that's excellent. And then, of course, once the electric is depleted, then you're operating as a standard hybrid. And over here on the redesigned touchscreen, if you touch right here, you can go into settings and this is where you will find the drive mode. So this is the default hybrid setting, and then there's power. And right there in the power mode, you probably heard the engine automatically kicks in. The adaptive air suspension just changed heights. And then there are off-road and all-wheel drive modes as well. And so each one of these tells you exactly why and when you would use them. I'm feeling the suspension raise the body again right now. So we'll go back to the standard hybrid. So let's talk about this screen for a moment. It does have CarPlay. It does not have Android Auto, but it's not wireless Apple CarPlay. That's very unusual. Even Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia have recently fixed that problem. So you plug in down here with a Type-C cable if you're an iPhone user, and away you go, and then you will have CarPlay here on the screen. I will admit now that having used this for a week, it's better than my initial impressions, in that it is fairly easy to get around and kind of find the main things that you want. The settings get bogged down for sure, and I wish some of these controls were actually physical buttons, like the ones for the drive modes, for instance. When you want to do this quickly and when you're on the road, that is several button pushes away, which is always a little frustrating. You hit the little car button here, excuse me, this one here. You get some other types of buttons down here as well, so that you can get to things more quickly. It has the Google built-in system, so you can use the Google Voice Assistant to ask it for things. Quick access to things like the excellent camera here, nice big screen, higher resolution, so that is definitely a plus. Now, this one would typically come with a Harman Kardon sound system, great brand, but this one with the Ultra package is upgraded to the Bowers and Wilkins system. Another part of that Ultra package, if you want to go all the way, is a head-up display, but it is sad. It is dingy. It is not very informative in terms of the types of information you can display up there. Compared to that Q6 e-tron I just tested with its dynamic, big, bright head-up display. I mean, this is just one of the many aspects in which the XC90 is truly, and I mean truly, showing its age. But all told, my biggest issue with this vehicle is the ride quality. I don't understand that how, when you opt for the optional active chassis with air suspension, that the ride is unbelievably unforgiving over anything but absolutely perfect pavement. So it feels like that extra weight of that battery was never meant to be here. The chassis was not designed for it, and the air suspension does an extremely poor job of handling the weight. So the ride quality in a vehicle like a Volvo here, which is just has that hallmark softness to it, that is completely non-existent here. The ride quality is not good. Acceleration though is 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds flat, so this thing is quick. It runs with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Also with the Ultra package, you're going to get the memory settings for both the driver and the passenger. We'll check out the back seats as well. So this is a small 3-row. It's not particularly big. Now down here, you've got a cup holder now, right between these two seats, and then you do have heated seats here, but not cooled seats. And then you have the manual sunshades on the window, not power. No rear seat entertainment. You've got manual controls here for the seats. So my point being is that this one is priced at nearly $90,000. That's not cheap. And this kind of does feel cheap in here. The lack of features at this price point is kind of astonishing. And all you have to do is point to automakers like Hyundai and Kia and see the level of features they're giving you at less than half this cost, and that kind of puts egg on the face of Volvo here. This feels like a half-hearted effort before, I assume, a full redesign can't be that far away. We're 10 years plus in on the XC90. Now this one is also in the EX90 form, available as a full electric, but this one definitely needs some work to keep up with the Joneses, and even the lesser Joneses. For instance, I've been thinking a lot about the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, which is excellent, really well done. You could practically get 2 of those for one of these, and you'd have a better vehicle. Also, back here in the cargo area, there is no way to lift up these seats. There are no tethers here, so you're going to reach way forward, and you're going to pull these up. And now, the cargo area behind the third row, not bad at all. And we do have a hook here on each side for groceries. That's nice. But when you start to, and there's your charge cable, by the way, and the charge port is up on the front on the driver's side. Level 2 only, please. Takes about 4 hours to get this thing up to a full charge. No USB ports back here. Cheap plastic. Nothing to write home about in terms of what you would expect in terms of a $90,000 vehicle. I can see there is room for a little cargo shade here that was not included. It does have foot activated liftgate. So this is where you put the gas in, and then, and now you can see the headlights too. Always a very sharp design. And then this is where you will find the charge port. So the XC90 T8, taken all the way to this level, almost $89,000. You could do better. There are certainly a lot of plug-in hybrid SUVs out there now. Not as many in the 3-row realm, but again, this one does not have a very big third row. So think of this as kind of, well, along the lines of that Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in that I mentioned. Now to get into the third row, we should go over that for a second. And these seats are all, you know, they slide and recline, but it's all manually operated. So up here, you're going to pull this. It's going to slide forward. There's your seat. You have this little narrow walkway here into the third row. Close this down. Yeah. So, you know, my head's right up against it here. My knees too, but maybe this person could slide up a little bit. It's not unusable by any means, but just keep in mind, this is not Tahoe, Suburban, even Telluride, or any of the Grand Highlander kind of things. This is definitely smaller. So, Volvo's future, they were gonna go all electric. Now they're not going all electric. I'm not sure where this ride is gonna take them, but the new 2025.5 XC90 T8 is a hard pass for me. It would need to show me more for that price point. If it was priced like this, somewhere in the low to mid 60s, I'd say go for it. Just keep in mind that ride quality, the biggest shocker here of all. So that's my update. Thanks for watching.